Harry,
Yes, neighbor.
the re-anchoring, that is what the mission of the network is over the next couple of days. The re-anchoring of the national conversation in outcomes, not noise. And so what I want us to focus on, Harry, is this re-anchoring of the national conversation. Would you tell me, Harry, what are some of the things that you think that we should be focused on? Not Politics Plus or Hello Neighbor individually, but as a nation, what are some of the things that you think we should be talking about at this time?
Well, for one, neighbor, I'll put it under this broad heading as to say the things that matter. And the things that matter are those that have an impact and an effect on the day-to-day lives now, in the medium term, and the long term of the people of Jamaica. People will ask, what are those things?
Very good.
It is the health system.
Sorry, repeat that, sir, because I think it is so important. Just repeat it for us.
Sure, neighbor.
Yes, man, go ahead.
So we should focus on the things that matter. These things that have an impact and an effect on the individual's lives in the now, the medium term, and the long term. Because the truth is, governance encapsulates that. Governance is the greatest impact, or has the greatest impact on it.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter what system you practice, whether it want be one in bureaucratic, it want be democracy, it doesn't matter. But the governance will always, no one forever, even from caveman times when 3-4 somebody decides, okay, that person will make the decision for us, right? It will always have an impact on the people's lives. And you as the people get the opportunity in a democratic society, not just to voice your concerns, but to also place the emphasis on what matters most for you. Yes. And that is how you shape the governance that shapes you. Neighbor, you always hear me say it. We shape society as society shapes you. It is no different from what the people of this country, because we voted for persons, right? Whether they want to be the member of parliament or the party. We've put people in a position to govern, to make decisions on our behalf that would be the best interest for us. But they don't make those decisions without our influence, without our voices, without what we think greatest, in terms of our greatest impact on us. And that is the things we have to focus on. Focus on not just the infrastructure that should be built, right, to take us to modern day Jamaica. And I love the fact that you spoke about Spanish Town, neighbor. It is a perfect example. And here's why.
Yes.
Spanish Town represents what was Jamaica in its glory, which is no longer. But it is now getting not just a restructure, but there's a reinvigoration of life back into a dead city, because that's what we classified it as, right? And we're now seeing new life, birth being put into it. Some people may say it's gentrification and so on, but that's beside the point. We are moving what was, which means it got left behind, because for far too long that city was left behind. And we're moving it with us into a modern era. Spanish Town, in this analogy, represents the lives of people, those that have been left behind, those who had the proclivity and not necessarily the resources, but the skill sets to move forward. But because of those that were in governance and didn't take the matters that were important to people seriously, they were dormant next to death. And these things are what we ought to focus on. If you want to bring it down to the individual level, when you look at it, we're human beings. So there are certain things we will not just need for survival, because Jamaica has now moved from just surviving, or people are not just surviving anymore. We're looking to be better, to go one step better than the generation before while rebuilding. That's not an easy feat. So the things that impacts that and has an effect on the people are, where are we taking our health sector? How are we developing our agricultural systems and the agricultural sector? That impacts an entire nation. These are nation building topics and discussions that should be had. Look at where we're coming from and where we are now. Look as to what has been done despite going through Melissa. Right? These are the things you look into, and that is how you actually stay focused, neighbor, because we move from what I mentioned earlier, the art of distraction, to know the aim of focus, right? And that is how you're going to combat all the distraction, because once you know what matters to you and what matters to your community and the parish, and that's how you expand that perspective. That's how you expand that conversation. It starts with you who are listening, and collectively we will share similarities and even same things that we want. It is everybody here that's listening to us, neighbor, have fallen under one shape or form of goal, which is to listen, to get information, to advance Jamaica, to know what is happening in Jamaica, to see how they can have an impact on it, what decision they can make as an individual to help the advancement. That is why the people who listen to us, they're focused. They are looking for things that matters. They know what also matters, neighbor. And this is why we were able to attract people to have this conversation, because we share like-minded, whether it be ideas or objectives. And we fall under the umbrella as to advancing Jamaica. I know the labor rights will say, choose Jamaica. And always choose Jamaica, doesn't matter what. Right? But once we're able to look and keep our eyes on what matters, it doesn't matter who comes with a narrative, who comes with a rhetoric. You identify the most important things and you stick to it. Yes, sacrifices will be required. Sacrifices, for example, is, let's say you contribute to the Politics Plus network to keep the show going. The sacrifice is whether you stay up and listen to us at night. The sacrifice is whether neighbor comes and spend hours of putting together neighbors' notes. The sacrifice is for each and every person, because what? We are here and we're focusing on what matters, because what matters has the greatest impact on us, neighbor. And that is how we have to shape Jamaica going forward. And we will leave people behind. It is the nature of it. Make no mistake. But those persons will be left behind if they don't choose what matters, if they don't want to be a part of the conversations that matters, that shapes how we deal with the now, how we pivot for the medium term, and how we step into the future going forward for Jamaica. Because Jamaica has been far too left by the wayside, have been taken lightly. And it starts with knowing the sectors, with knowing the factors that matters. And that is key to us moving forward.
Wow, fantastic.